Hi everybody, Claudia here, the half of We're Just Two Sisters. And you guessed it, I'm going to take you on a walkthrough of a newly created journal. I call this journal the Enchanted Forest, and it basically just depicts where I live. It also has a lot of my favorite things, my favorite colors, and I hope that someone loves this journal as much as I do. So it's a really nice size journal. It measures, and I dropped my ruler, so I'm going to grab a different one. It measures a total of 7¼ inches long by 5¼ inches wide. And it has a really nice spine. The spine on this one, and as you know, the bigger the spine, the more they hold. This one is about 1.5 inches. It's really pretty coffee dyed linen that I make myself, the spine that is. The cover of this one is sewn on, and I love this teal color. It's one of my very favorite colors in the whole world. And it has a detachable ribbon. Let's go ahead and take it off. Let me just show you the inside there first and a little bit of a glimpse of the back. But I'll go ahead now and take the ribbon off. It's detachable. So as usual, you can choose to use that ribbon, or you can use your own, or even create another closure for this one. I have left the cover of this relatively plain. You can continue to decorate it yourself if you would like to. I've put a few stamps and a little bit of writing and a little bit of distressing on the edges and sewn this picture on. But I just loved the picture so much that I really didn't want to distract from it. So as I said, the spine here is my coffee dyed linen, which I've used some stencils when it was coffee dyed, which gives it a great texture and a great vintage look. The book itself was this beautiful teal color, and I've left that intact. The back of this one does have a pocket. It has these beautiful illustrations here with the deer, and it has a sewn-on pocket. In the pocket, there's a couple of cards. The mountains are calling and I must go, with journaling space on the back. And this beautiful little bird, flowers of life. The birds here in the mountains where I live are one of my very favorite things. I have a group of blue jay friends that come to visit me. Not right now because it's still snowing where I live. This also has some really great whimsical yarn that you'll see throughout. So let's, without further ado, go inside. So this one has on the inside cover, again, you'll see the coffee dyed linen, the really nice whimsical ribbon or yarn that I like so much. And I've allowed this to continue off the top and kind of tied it in a knot there so that creates, just a really nice overhang. This pocket can be filled with whatever you would like it to be filled with. I just added this little tag, says, "Dear self, stay strong." And on this side, it has some really beautiful foresty illustrations. I live in a place called the Enchanted Forest, which I absolutely love, and it is just that. The streets are amazing. They are all named like Elfin and Leprechaun and Pixie. I live on a street actually called Enchanted Way, and it is just that. So here is a beautiful illustration of an eagle, and like I said, the birds, the hawks, the owls, the eagles here are breathtakingly beautiful. I've added some vellum here too, which I love how it overlays on some of the pages. Also, I had some stationery that had a lot of leaves and designs on it that I've used throughout this journal. You'll see them several times. Lots of blank pages for continuing to journal and decorate on your own. Lots of lace, as you can see. Several of the pages have sewn on lace. Here's a beautiful pocket with a fox. The fox contains this little tag with the elk. And on the back is some very wood-like design. Has a little bow there and some really pretty sewn-on ribbon. Here's another pocket that is embellished with some lace and a beautiful little flower. It has a couple of little stamps inside this corner pocket, a butterfly and a bunny. And in this larger pocket, there's a pine cone. We have an abundance of those as well. Some of them are actually called widow makers. The pine cones themselves are about 14 to 15 inches long. And if they hit your car, they will definitely break your window. If they hit you, they would definitely break you. Here's an example of some of my coffee dyed and stencil dyed paper. Not only does it have a great texture and feel, but it looks very vintage and just helps to create a little bit more of a unique element to the journals. There's another example of lace coffee dyed paper where I use old vintage lace and then just pour coffee over the top of it on top of the paper. I also had this stationery, which I thought was very beautiful and depicted kind of the forest, the bed of the forest with the leaves and the ferns and so forth. Again, there's lots and lots of journaling or writing space for you to draw on, write on, or even continue to add your own elements of embellishment. I really loved this page, so what I've created here is a little fox family overlay onto this beautiful tree, which is what they look like in the wintertime. There's some elements of burlap and a little dragonfly. When you open this up, this side has a pocket. The pocket has this card, Sacred Geometry. And with the forest comes a lot of really interesting insects. This side has the deer and the bear. I have had some interesting encounters with bears where I live. They are more afraid of you than you are of them. And I have been fairly close. I've also added quite a few leaves to this side pocket. Again, as with all of my journals, all of the things that are included in them can be moved around, they can be removed, and I've left, again, a lot of space for you to kind of do your own thing. Lots of paper, lots of different types and styles, textures, designs, patterns. This one is a lot of ferns on the coffee dyeing. Hopefully you can see that well. Here is a page that has a band. When you remove this piece from the band, it has this great, awesome bear with a little bee here. I put the bee there because, of course, the bear likes what the bee produces in the honey. When you open it up, it has a pocket here with a tag. The tag says, "We can never have enough nature." And on the bottom of this, it has a sewn-on tablet with a a dragonfly. And in this is just a lot of really unique patterns of coffee dyed, stencil dyed, and so forth of my own paper. This is actually a very cool embossed piece of stationery. You can see that a little bit better on the back there. But this lovely piece just slips right down into that belly band, which holds it in place. And it's on a fairly strong piece of cardstock, so it will keep it nice and secure. This is definitely something that's dear to my heart, the acorns and the leaves of fall. Fall is one of my very favorite times of year here in the Enchanted Forest. And that's, of course, when all the leaves turn different colors and so forth. Here's a cute little tag that depicts the squirrels. The squirrels can be your best friends. They can also be your worst enemies. My husband refers to them as rodents. I actually have always thought that they were super cute until they ate all of the wires in my Jeep. And now I have more explicit names for them than cute. But they do live here and we cohabitate, and so that's just what we do. Here is a little tag that says, I go to nature to be soothed and healed and to have my senses put in order. I just love that. And that's what happens when you are exposed to nature. Lovely little tag there. And I just found this in a little book and I just loved it. It says, the greatest oak was once a little nut that held its ground. Now, as you'll see with this journal, there are, hopefully you can see this, 2 very large signatures that are sewn in, and then the signatures themselves are attached to the spine with glue, and they're not going anywhere. And you can see here where they are actually sewn together or sewn into the signature. Again, lots of really cool craft paper that depicts the story of the forest and the woods and nature. Lots of journaling space, really cool patterns on the paper from stencil dyeing. Here's a really pretty pocket that has the deer with a button that I made, some burlap, and in this pocket there's this really pretty tag with journaling space on the back, ribbon at the top. Here's a side pocket that's made out of leather, and it holds these 2 great pieces and this applique butterfly, which is attached to the pocket. Between every 2 pines, there's a doorway to a new world. And this is actually an old vintage Lake Arrowhead postcard. It still pretty much looks the same today. Again, great designs on this paper. Sometimes I'm so excited when I coffee dye or tea dye paper, and then the revealing or the unveiling of the finished product is always so much fun. Here's another one that has just great textures on it. It almost looks like it's embossed. More fun papers, lots of ribbons, craft paper. Here's the end of the first signature, and you can see that the signature spine is very securely attached to the book itself. This corner pocket is made of burlap and has these 2 great little bird wooden buttons. In there is a little tag that says, of all the paths you take in life, make sure a few of them are dirt. I just love that. Berries, which again is one of the reasons why I have experiences with bears, because I do like to plant berries, and guess who loves them? The bears. Here is a great pocket with an owl and berries that's sewn together with some great material there. And I found this little picture that I just love, kind of depicts the a little tree person, if you like. More great textured paper. Here's some paper with some fishing on it, or some fish on it with some lures. Definitely fishing is a wonderful pastime here in the mountains. We have like 4 lakes here, and they are pretty abundant with fish. I love this little circle pocket that I made. It says, time spent amongst trees is never time wasted. And this little pocket has quite a few little doodad goodies in it. It has a couple of little stamps, one with a squirrel and one with, I believe this is a hedgehog, which quite honestly, I've never seen a hedgehog in the woods, but oh well, maybe some woods have hedgehogs. Of all the paths you take, remember we saw this one, in life, make sure a few of them are dirt. Climb the mountains and get their good tidings. Nature's peace will flow into you as sunshine flows into trees. That's a very nice saying. And last but not least, play in the dirt. Wish for rain. Feed the birds, pull weeds, butterflies and buzzing bees. Always welcome. Save your seeds, share the surplus. Fertilize, sip a drink, relax, and enjoy the view. And you know what? Quite frankly, since I retired and I live in the mountains, which I have for about 10 years, this is like the story of my life. I wish everyone could only be so blessed and so fortunate. More pages, some little ledger paper with this cute little butterfly and some materials, some cloth behind it. I think that's makes it a really nice texture there. More of my coffee dyed paper. I liked this one quite a bit. It almost looks like dandelions. And this one has a little forest tag there. Here's a bear pocket. This has inside a folio. It says, "And into the forest I go to lose my mind and find my soul." And inside is this lovely little tablet made of a variety of different papers. It says, "I slip into a moody forest to dance with the enchanted winds for a spell." Goes down into that little wooden pocket. And this little folio tablet just slips right in there. Again, lots of fun edging that each one of them is individually sewn in to the paper. They will not go anywhere. I loved this page. I just wanted to leave it just all by itself with just a little bit of stamping. It shows that I believe that's a coyote, which we definitely have quite a few of those here. This I thought was this is the center of the second signature with this really cool bird and the bird nest. I created this kind of collage pocket. It has a belly band with a couple of tickets, another ticket. Take me to a concert in the forest deep, wind crooning with trees in a symphony. Has some little rivets here. And then this holds this really cool receipt. Very vintage looking. And that just goes right down into this pocket. Another little simple little pocket with berries, and I've put a tag in there, a card in here that just has acorns. This one I really like a lot, so I've embossed this with some really cool leaves and berries. This band holds this tablet. It says, "A philosophical disclosure of earth, of forest trees." And this is a field guide, but I decorated the outside of it with different elements and different papers. But I've left the inside intact. So it's a field journal. You can put your name, your address, important contacts. It can come out and then you can fill it out and put it back inside. Let's say you went on a camping trip or you took an adventure in the forest or in the woods, and you record all of that, and then when you're finished you can actually put it back into your journal. On the back cover of this, I've created a pocket with a sacred geometry little card in it, and I've also attached a little mushroom stamp there. But like I said, this could be kind of a separate little journal. You could fill it out, write poetry in it, write a story about an experience in the woods, whatever you'd like to do. On the other side is a little corner pocket with acorns and another little postcard of sunset at the lake. This is one of my very favorite pages. So this is my fishing page. And on this fishing page, you'll see that there's a fish caught by the string. Here's a little fishing pole that is actually just put inside this little band. It is removable. Fish over here. And then I created this little basket. And when you unwrap the string from the basket, you can open it up and you can see that it holds a fish. Fish has both sides. That can just go down in there, and then this string can just wrap right around the little fastener here. And on the end of the string, I've left this really pretty little leaf charm. But I just really liked how this page came out with the Fisherman's Delight. And like I said, a lot of times when you go to the mountains and you go to the lakes, fishing is a very important activity. Here's a really cool pocket with the birds. Inside there is an envelope. It says, "Along this earthen wonderland, my heart falls in green love as I gaze awestruck to the trees, sharing grace from above." Inside the envelope, it says, "The most beautiful thing," and this is one of my favorite sayings, "I see trees of green, red roses too. I see them bloom for me and you. And I think to myself, what a wonderful world." And this guy just goes right down in that pocket. Lots of more pages. Here's a really pretty band that I've laced some ribbon through here and tied a bow. This holds this really interesting little folio. On the front, there's a pocket. The earth has music for those who listen. And then, of course, the beautiful bird nest. You open this up and it has some of the dyed linen here. This is very cool paper that has like kind of the burnt edges. And when you open it up, it's again filled with great designs. I've actually picked out some of my favorites from the coffee dyed paper. The tablet is sewn in. And it just slides right down into this little band. It holds it in place. More fishing, more coffee dyed paper, more plain paper. And then as we get towards the end here, there's a beautiful page with some lovely fall leaves. On the other side of that is another band. You pull this guy out, and it is a flip folio. Oh, the little stamp escaped from somewhere. We'll have to see. I'll set it aside for a moment. So this flip folio on the cover has a pocket. When you take this out, it says, "Deep in the forest I stroll to hear the wisdom of my soul." And then when you open it up the first time, you can flip this guy over, and then there's a flip here that just continues to unfold a wonderful story of what you might encounter in the forest. On this side is a lovely little tablet, and this just all folds together. Some little fox on that side, and I'm not really sure where that little stamp was. Let's see if there is space inside. No, so let's put it right in there for now. And this just slides down in here. And in the back cover has the fish. And then I already showed you the very back of the journal. And again, let's just kind of flip through. You can see that although it's very packed, it also stays together very nicely. And when you put the ribbon on, it holds it all very securely. Like I said, if you aren't completely enamored with this ribbon, you can always choose your own. I hope you were inspired by the Enchanted Forest Journal. And if you would like to purchase it, it will be available on our Etsy store for as long as that lasts. And that's www.we'rejusttwosisters.etsy.com. And that's We're Just Two Sisters with the number 2.etsy.com. Thank you so much for spending some of your day with me. I always really appreciate your time. I love your feedback. I love the comments. So please feel free to leave one and like our YouTube channel and come back again and see us. Thank you so much.